Hi, everyone. My name is Andy Redmond, and I'm the Director of America's Solution Engineering here at Progress Software. With my present role at Progress, I lead a team of highly skilled solution architects who are really focused on giving customers a brilliant application experience by leveraging the Kemp LoadMaster application delivery controller, or what is commonly called load balancer. To do what? To securely publish highly scalable applications internally and externally of their application environments, whether it's on premises in a co-location facility or even published in a public cloud environment. Now, prior to Progress Camp, I was the technical lead and principal escalation engineer for Citrix NetScaler in the Americas. The title for this webinar is The Top 5 Reasons to Replace Citrix ADC, or now called NetScaler, with Kemp LoadMaster. Let's dig in. The agenda we'll cover today are the following items. What is load balancing? I'm going to discuss basic load balancing concepts to set the stage. I'll then give a high-level overview of Citrix, now Cloud Software Group, from the recent purchase. We'll chat about how the Progress Camp LoadMaster compares with NetScaler, both technically and equally as important, how it affects the budget. And finally, I'll summarize key takeaways for you to carefully consider regarding your next project that requires load balancing. What is load balancing? Before I get into more detail about this particular topic, I'm going to discuss a few notable facts for your consideration to lay the actual foundation. Okay, application delivery controller, commonly called an ADC, versus the load balancer. Is there a difference? And if so, what is the difference? Well, with the advent of the internet boom and the serious growing demand for internet-based content, load balancers were introduced in the late 90s to help deal with the demand. Basic load balancers were first introduced by Cisco in 97, and then rapid demand for online content meant that server hardware capabilities needed to improve greatly with the demand, meaning that they needed to be far more powerful and highly available in order to meet the actual need that was being requested. Now, in 2004, the Application Delivery Controller, or ADC, was introduced into the marketplace. The ADC is functionally a highly performant load balancer with a collection of advanced functionality, enabling a more comprehensive solution offering for publishing applications in a secure and flexible manner. The Web Application Firewall, referred to as a WAF, ensures that application-based attacks that will bypass perimeter-based firewalls will be stopped before infecting application servers. Now, there's an authentication engine as part of the ADC, and the authentication engine validates legitimate users and authenticates those users into application environments where they have granted privileges. Single sign-on, which is an add-on to authentication, streamlines the authentication and application access process to provide a great user experience for signing into apps. Global Server Load Balancing, which is GSLB, ensures that no matter where an IT team wants to publish their applications, whether on premises, in a co-location facility, or within a public cloud provider, or even across all environments, sometimes called multi-cloud, the users accessing those applications will receive a fantastic application experience. So much for the basic load balancer, and welcome to the ADC. Now that I've covered a few notable facts about load balancers and application delivery controllers, let's talk about a few more detailed functions these devices enable for IT teams. Load balancing is sometimes called server load balancing, considering the load balancer sits in front of a group of application servers to work as what I'll term the control point, like a gate for directing all user traffic into the apps hosted on those servers. The load balancer will make intelligent decisions about where users will be sent based on numerous different factors, such as the health of the application on a particular server, or perhaps even the specific application URI. And that stands for Uniform Resource Identifier. And that's basically a series of characters that identify specific apps or certain areas or pages within an application, like within a web page. Global Server Load Balancing, or GSLB, is another function of an ADC that enables applications to be hosted in a wide variety of locations, such as Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, or perhaps even in your own on-prem data center. GSLB intelligently forwards users to a particular site that will provide the very best application experience, such as lower latency because of being forwarded to the closest application environment to their actual specific location. It's basically supercharged intelligent DNS. Now, when IT teams need to host applications in public cloud environments, those IT teams need to leverage load balancing for numerous different reasons. Number one is scalability. Public cloud environments have the ability, which is really slick, of scaling dynamically based on user demand, and this is super useful for applications that are very dynamic in nature, such as an e-commerce site. Number two is availability. Availability is another key aspect of load balancing in public cloud, considering applications need to always be available for user access, or highly available as a common term. Now, number three, modern application environments need agility, which is basically the ability to be highly flexible and dynamic in nature for different needs, such as ephemeral environments that are leveraged to manage public cloud costs. The notion of being able to turn on or off an app environment based on user demand is a key aspect of lowering cloud costs while providing a brilliant user experience when demand is there. Okay, I've discussed load balancing, ADCs, and some really essential and beneficial features that these appliances have been designed with. Let's shift our attention now to why the NetScaler is really not the best choice or fit for your application environment. What do we know about the Citrix ADC or NetScaler and why it's not the best choice? That's a great question. Let me answer that for you. Okay, a little bit of history. Back in 2005, NetScaler was purchased by Citrix to help publish the Citrix software products. The vast majority of the time, NetScaler was actually a pull behind the Citrix software sales. Now in 2018, the name of the ADC changed to Citrix ADC. No way. That's not the best name. Customers know the brand is NetScaler. So after a purchase in 2022 by a private equity firm, the name was changed back and the NetScaler brand was spun as a separate business unit called NetScaler. And hopefully you followed that. The product is offered in numerous different formats such as hardware, virtualized software, containerized, bare metal, etc. Now, after the acquisition, numerous layoffs occurred. Approximately 2,000 employees, according to industry data. This layoff involved significant engineering, technical support, and sales staff. There was a disruption in the product roadmap, and remote employees were forced to return to the office, according to many who have stayed with the company, even if they had been hired into a remote position. This caused numerous internal issues, as you can imagine. If you aren't one of the top customers, priority wasn't so great either, and a major price increase has forced numerous customers to leave the brand, seeking other more cost-effective solutions. Support has suffered greatly. Large enterprise customers are now leaving the brand because of bugs and lack of timely response. How do I know that? Because they're talking directly to us about replacement options. And I'm talking major, huge enterprise organizations. The NetScaler support and escalation teams have seen seasoned engineers leave for other companies because of the challenges. The product roadmap has been hindered with engineering resources limited. Cost of ownership has been directly impacted with a steep increase in cost and a move to subscription for many of the product options. Now, this may not be an issue for your organization, but many customers don't want to purchase products in this manner. Many in the vendor partner community are moving away from NetScaler towards a vendor that provides better support, pricing, and a healthy roadmap. Their reputation means something in the industry, and hence the move away from NetScaler. What about the lack of focus? Does this have an impact on customer churn? Most certainly. We'll refer to them as Citrix for a minute, as that's the brand most individuals are familiar with. Citrix, as I've noted, was a software company producing remote desktop and remote app products to their customers. The NetScaler, as I previously noted, was almost always a pull-behind product, meaning customers purchased Citrix software, and because of some tightening control, the NetScaler was historically the only ADC that would support the Citrix software. This has changed, of course, but there was almost a complete vendor lock-in. Now, way back when, we saw how vendor lock-in affected Betamax, if you're that old to remember like I am. Bottom line, Betamax is no more according to their direction. But I'm going to be clear. I'm simply providing an illustration of Betamax for context only. Now, when you're considering what load balancer you want to use, finding the very best solution at a price point that doesn't induce strain on the IT budget is absolutely essential. We're not made of money, and budgets are becoming more strained. So, a practical question: do you want to purchase an expensive product, and when issues occur, gaining support can be incredibly challenging? I'm convinced that you don't, even if the product is generally decent. Now, if you want to know what real people who are using load balancing products think about NetScaler versus Progress Kemp LoadMaster, then head over to Gartner peer reviews. You'll gain instant insight into what the actual user community thinks about customer satisfaction, which is a key indicator of whether you want to make a strategic investment or continue with your existing investment in critical products for your application environment. Progress Kemp LoadMaster holds the #1 position in the reviews and has for years. This ranking is super important when you're making critical decisions about your budget. Okay, so where is NetScaler in the rankings? That's a fair question. Well, NetScaler holds position number 10. Not a very prestigious ranking according to real users, and not simply our opinion. You need to take it from the community and make a wonderful decision with Progress Kemp LoadMaster. Okay, so I just said it a minute ago. So who is Gartner? That's an excellent question. Gartner is probably the leading IT analyst firm. They know what they're doing. Their ranking and results from real peers in the community are completely unbiased. A user puts a rank, and Gartner, well, they publish that rank. Look at the badges of success: leader in mid-market, leader in enterprise, best relationship, best usability, users most likely to recommend. Okay, so why are users most likely to recommend? Simple. Progress Kemp LoadMaster works. It's super simple to configure and manage with what I'll term point and click configuring, and it doesn't put strain on IT budgets. The bottom line is Progress Kemp LoadMaster is rated #1 for years for numerous important reasons. All right, a little bit of an eye chart, but what do we see? Kemp versus Citrix ADC, according to Gartner. 107 Kemp customer reviews versus 54, twice on Kemp LoadMaster. 5 out of 5 stars. Support is stellar. The ease of use with point and click provisioning. When you need to deploy a load balancer, the average go live time is greatly reduced with the Kemp LoadMaster product. You can see the average return on investment. Now, you've got a graph between the 2 months versus the average of 6 months, or the Kemp average of 19 months versus 28 months. Users actually rating the products. And what you see from this chart is that the Kemp LoadMaster is stellar in every single category. So what about support, right? Progress Kemp LoadMaster support is bar none the very best in the industry. For over a decade, that's right, a decade, we've maintained a 99% customer satisfaction rating across any support ticket that a customer opens. That number is pure gold when making key IT decisions about what products to invest in. So what should you know about us? Okay, #1, we are laser focused on load balancing. Is what we've designed within our product, and it's what we do best. Our product roadmap is feature rich and it's actually exciting. We know where customers want to host their apps because they're telling us, and how they want to purchase their load balancers. Furthermore, we know what customers are demanding as it relates to provisioning and managing their application estates. So in other words, our product development is directly aligned with key customer input so that we build functionality into the products that customers are actually asking for. What could be better? The NetScaler, well, the data speaks for itself. More bang for your buck. Okay, so again, while this particular slide is a bit of an eye chart, the key takeaway here is that in every load balancing purchase, whether it's hardware, virtual cloud, etc., the NetScaler is approximately 3 to 4 times more expensive than the industry leading Progress Kemp LoadMaster. That's a huge delta for IT teams who are looking at effectively managing their budget and absolutely require a simple to use, performant load balancer. So don't fiddle around with your IT budget. Go with a product that directly aligns with your long term direction and provides the absolute best support in the industry. Golden. When issues occur, and they will, don't be left in the dust. Get the best. So that was NetScaler. How does Progress Kemp LoadMaster compare? Yes, I've already given you quite a bit of data, but let's dig in a little bit further. Okay, so simple question. What's all the excitement about Kemp LoadMaster? Another excellent question. Thanks for asking. Okay, I've said it before. Our attention to load balancing is laser focused. Now, the LoadMaster has been built to deliver scalability in a very agile manner and has been designed to be rock solid for application availability. Customers frequently deploy LoadMaster and it just keeps running and running. And guess what? That's right, running. It's almost a set and forget product. Yes, you need to upgrade it periodically for newly developed encryption ciphers to further harden your application security posture, but you get the idea. It's solid. When you need to deploy LoadMaster in front of your application environments to ensure those apps are secure and available, well, the truth is that configuring and managing the LoadMaster is super simple in any app environment. Versus the NetScaler, the LoadMaster is configured and deployed lickety split fast. Why Progress LoadMaster again? Dirt simple to configure with point and click provisioning, coupled with tons of application specific app templates to greatly simplify the publishing of major industry applications. We have the most flexible licensing options in the industry. The value that we enable with Kemp LoadMaster and its advanced functionality is unmatched. Supports, that's correct. We have the best support in the industry and the data proves it. Are you getting the idea? You need to migrate off NetScaler and onto Progress Kemp LoadMaster. Oh, that's easy. We have a brilliant professional services team that are a dream to work with in migrating these critical apps. Okay, so you're really experienced and smart. Fabulous. Then you'll be delighted at the self-serve application templates that I've been discussing. With a simple upload of the app template that you can download from our website, considering they are freely available for everyone, to creating a new service to host your industry app. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Point and click, add a few IP addresses for your real servers, and bingo, you're good to go. Honestly, it's truly that simple. Our load balancing options are super flexible. Well, what if you're a company which has purchased Dell Technologies Elastic Cloud Storage, or ECS? Then you'll be amazed to know that Progress Kemp is the actual company behind the ECS Connection Manager that smells, feels, and looks just like Dell ECS. It's a purpose-built, intelligent load balancer with ECS-specific features enabled and developed for this super important storage application. Bottom line, we are flexible, and that will resonate with you when you engage with us. I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again so that it becomes sticky in your mind. Progress Kemp has the most flexible licensing models. Why be forced to purchase a product according to how the company wants you to buy? We care about what you think, and as such, we've streamlined the procurement process for Kemp LoadMaster according to how you want to buy it. No fiddling around, but a super straightforward approach in your load balancer purchasing journey. Congratulations, you've stuck with me this far, and I'm impressed. So let's talk for a second. What are the key takeaways to remember from our investment in time today? Because that's what you've done. You've invested time with me to learn about these important topics. That's an excellent question. Let's dig in and wrap this up. Progress Kemp LoadMaster. Number one, support and fully featured. Load balancing is all we do, and we do it really, really well. It's dirt simple to configure and deploy. Point and click provisioning. That's the truth. This is the best value for your money in the industry. Now, our support, it's simply the best, and real users have validated the statement via the Gartner peer reviews. Check Gartner out for yourself. What about NetScaler? Massive layoffs, a lacking roadmap. Quite honestly, NetScaler is a very complex product. NetScaler is expensive, upwards of 3 to 4 times that of Progress Kemp LoadMaster. They rank number 10 on Gartner peer reviews. That's not a fabulous ranking. So what's next on your journey? We offer a super simple and fully supported 24/7 premium based product trial. We help you deploy it and configure it if you want. But it's so easy to configure and deploy that many customers do it themselves, even customers who have never had experience on an ADC or load balancer. It's that simple. Our website, kemp.ax, has a comprehensive comparison between the products. Okay, so you're still leveraging Citrix virtual apps and desktops? No problem. Progress Kemp LoadMaster works with these software products with a carefully designed Citrix software application template that you can download from our website to streamline your migration.
Thank you, Andy, for your presentation. That's very good. Hopefully you got a lot from that. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm David Clyde. I'm Enterprise Sales for the UK and Ireland. And with me is my colleague, David Flax, who's a sales engineer for UK and Ireland. So we're going to come on to the questions and answers now. So please, if you have any, please feel free to type them into the question window on the panel there, and we'll try and answer them as soon as we can. Okay, we've got one in there which I'll read out. So I'm aware there have been several major security vulnerabilities in NetScaler over the last few years. What is Kemp's history as far as security vulnerabilities go? David, are you able to help answer that one?
Thanks, David. So yeah, basically Kemp have had virtually no security vulnerabilities over the years, while Citrix and other vendors have had many really serious ones. I would refer anybody who's interested in looking up the details of all these to the CVE database and the exploited vulnerabilities database. So not only have we not had many vulnerabilities at all, but we've never had a single exploited one. And I'm going to post into chat the 2 links for the databases, both maintained. Well, one's maintained by the American Cybersecurity Agency. That's the exploited vulnerabilities one. That tells you, who's been hacked and how many. And the CVE database is where all vulnerabilities are registered. So if you look up LoadMaster and you look up Citrix and F5 and all the other vendors, you'll see the differences. We've only had 2 in our entire history. Yeah, next question, David.
Great stuff, thank you, David. Got one here. Does Kemp support or use STA, Secure Ticket Authority?
No, it doesn't. We work around that in a slightly different way because we can't reverse engineer the Citrix protocol. So if we can take that offline and we can discuss the actual way we do it, but no, we can't reverse engineer Citrix's intellectual property in that way.
Okay, thank you, David. Got Got another one here. Is it possible to migrate NetScaler config over to LoadMaster?
Yes, absolutely. We can supply professional services to do it if it's a complicated config. There is scripts and templates on our website if you want to do it yourself, self-service.
Okay. Another one. Do Kemp intend to push customers towards subscription licensing as other vendors have done?
Okay, that's a really interesting one. So yeah, most of the vendors are going down the subscription route these days. We don't see that in our future. We will support perpetual licenses. Obviously, you can never dictate company policy, but it's very, very unlikely. We've just released a whole new range of hardware models this year. The hardware models are based around perpetual licensing, so those would have a 5-year lifespan minimum, and then 5 years after end of sale. So if we could see potentially the next 10 years that we would always have perpetual licensing available. Obviously, I can't comment on company strategy, but that's as close as we can predict, really.
Okay, great, thanks. Next one I have is what SAML authorization with Okta and Citrix? What about SAML authorization with Okta and Citrix that uses Citrix fast for SSO?
I'd have to get back to you on that one. I'm pretty sure we can do SAML auth with Okta. So yeah, we'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take it offline.
Okay.
So we'll post into chat the link for the web page for Citrix for the trial. So that's the Citrix page, which has got all the templates and scripts to be downloaded on it. And you'll see the trial link is there as well in the middle of the page.
Lovely, okay. Any more questions from anybody? Don't think we've got anything for at this point. Maybe leave it a minute or two. If anything comes in. The question of where can I download the trial? Is that what you've posted?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Okay. Erland, thanks for your question regarding having a meeting about replacing the ADC CAG. So that's fine. We can organise that. We can do that.
Yeah, we'll
offline.
put you in touch with the SE for your region.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anything further from anybody?
Okay. Thanks for your
time,
time, everybody.
Drying up. So yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully you got some out of that. We'll make sure that the follow-ups for these for the questions we're taking offline come back to you, and yes, we'll be in touch shortly. Thank you very much.